Welcome to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, an island where myth and beauty entwine, where temples rise beside tea-clad hills, and where the ocean beats against golden shores with timeless rhythm. From the misty peaks of the Central Highlands to the ancient cities carved in stone, from the wild jungles of Yala to the tranquil beaches of the south, Sri Lanka is not only a nation, it is a living tapestry woven from history, spirit, and nature's grace. At dawn, Colombo stirs with color and sound. The sea breeze drifts across Galle green, where kites dance above the waves, and market stalls awaken with spices, jasmine garlands, and laughter. Tuk-tuks weave through bustling streets, and the rhythm of drums carries the island's pulse. In the heart of the city, colonial facades stand beside gleaming towers, a reminder that Sri Lanka moves always between memory and modernity. Beyond the capital, the island unfolds in vivid wonder. In Kandy, the Temple of the Tooth glimmers with devotion, while dancers in jeweled costumes keep centuries of tradition alive. In Sigiriya, a lion-shaped rock rises above emerald plains, guarding frescoes painted in the Age of Kings. In Anuradhapura, ancient stupas and sacred Bodhi trees whisper of faith and resilience, their shadows stretching across millennia. The hills shimmer with another kind of beauty. Tea estates roll like green oceans, their leaves picked by hand and brewed into cups that carry the fragrance of clouds and rain. Waterfalls tumble through valleys, and trains curve like ribbons through misty forests, where every bend reveals a dream. In Nuwara Eliya, colonial bungalows sleep among gardens, a reminder of a quieter time wrapped in mountain air. The coasts are no less radiant. On the southern shores, palm trees bend over golden sands. Fishermen balance on stilts above the surf, and sea turtles return to nest beneath the stars. In the east, Trincomalee's waters gleam turquoise, inviting divers to coral gardens below. In the west, Negombo's lagoons glisten with sails, and in Galle, Dutch walls guard a city where history lingers in every coral stone street. Yet Sri Lanka's soul lies beyond its landscapes. It lives in its heart of hospitality. Meals are feasts of flavor, rice and curry laden with spice, hoppers crisp at dawn, coconut sambal bright with fire. Food here is more than sustenance. It is warmth, welcome, and a bond shared among family and friends.
This is Sri Lanka.
an island of story and soul, of ocean and mountain, of faith and festivity. More than a destination, it is a journey into beauty itself, a living jewel in the heart of the Indian Ocean. Jaffna, at the northern tip of Sri Lanka, is a city rich in history, resilience, and culture. Shaped by centuries of Tamil heritage and touched by colonial influence, it is a place where ancient temples, colonial-era landmarks, and coastal beauty coexist in harmony. Emerging from decades of conflict, Jaffna has reawakened as a vibrant hub of tradition, faith, and community. At its center stands the Swami Kovil, one of the most important Hindu temples in Sri Lanka. With its towering golden gopuram and intricate carvings, it draws devotees and visitors alike, especially during the annual festival when the streets come alive with music, rituals, and color. Spiritual energy flows through the city, making Jaffna a place deeply connected to faith and identity. Colonial legacies remain visible too. The Jaffna Fort, originally built by the Portuguese and later expanded by the Dutch, overlooks the lagoon with stone walls that recalls centuries of struggle and resilience. Nearby, UIAT libraries and cultural centers preserve the city's intellectual traditions, once a beacon of Tamil scholarship. The coastline adds another dimension. Casuarina Beach, with its calm, shallow waters, invites families and travelers seeking relaxation, while offshore islands like Delft reveal windswept landscapes, wild ponies, and coral walls that tell tales of a different rhythm of life. Food is central to Jaffna's charm. Spicy crab curries, dosas, and fresh seafood carry flavors unique to the region. Markets brim with fruits, spices, and everyday life, offering glimpses into a culture that remains proud, warm, and welcoming. Jaffna is more than a destination. It is a story of endurance and renewal, where the spirit of its people shines as brightly as the northern sun.
The Galle Dutch fort,
on Sri Lanka's southern coast, is a remarkable blend of history, culture, and coastal beauty. Originally built by the Portuguese in the 16th century and later fortified by the Dutch in the 17th, it stands today as one of the best-preserved colonial fortifications in Asia. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the fort is not a relic of the past, but a thriving community where life unfolds within ancient walls. Walking through its massive stone ramparts, you step into a world where Europe and Asia meet. The grid of cobbled streets is lined with Dutch-era villas, colonial churches, and old warehouses now transformed into cafes, galleries, and boutiques. The scent of spices drifts from shops, while the sound of bicycle bells and ocean waves mix with the calls of street vendors. Every corner tells a story, from the lighthouse overlooking the Indian Ocean to the clock tower keeping watch above the town. The fort's history is written in its architecture. The Dutch Gilder, formed church with its simple grace, contrasts with the vibrant energy of the local markets. Mosques and temples stand alongside colonial buildings, reflecting Gaule's role as a crossroads of faiths and cultures. At sunset, crowds gather on the ramparts to watch the sky ignite in colors, the sea shimmering as it has for centuries. Yet the fort is more than monuments, it is alive. Families live within its walls, children play cricket in its streets, and festivals fill the air with music and light. Artists, writers, and travelers are drawn to its atmosphere, where past and present exist side by side. Galle Dutch Fort is not just a site to explore, but a place to feel, where history whispers through stones, where cultures embrace, and where the timeless rhythm of the sea accompanies every step. Kandy, the sacred heart of Sri Lanka. Kandy, nestled among lush hills in the island's central highlands, is a city where history, spirituality, and natural beauty meet in perfect harmony. Known as Sri Lanka's cultural capital, it was the last stronghold of the Sinhalese kings before colonial rule, and today it remains a sacred and symbolic heart of the nation. With misty mountains surrounding it and a tranquil lake at its center, Kandy offers a blend of serenity and vibrancy that captivates every visitor. At the core of the city lies the temple of the sacred tooth relic, Sri Dalada Maligawa, one of Buddhism's holiest shrines. Believed to house a relic of the Buddha's tooth, the temple attracts pilgrims from around the world, its rituals and festivals reflecting centuries of devotion. Each year, the Esala Perahera transforms Kandy into a dazzling spectacle, with elephants adorned in glittering regalia, traditional dancers, drummers, and fire-bearers parading through the streets in celebration of faith and heritage. The city itself is a blend of colonial elegance and local charm. The calm waters of Kandy Lake, encircled by a shaded promenade, offer a peaceful escape from the bustle, while nearby markets overflow with spices, fruits, and handcrafted goods. Colonial-era buildings, museums, and old streets recall the city's layered history, where British influence intertwined with Sinhala traditions. Beyond the city, Kandy is a gateway to Sri Lanka's lush interior. The Royal Botanical Gardens in Peradeniya flourish with orchids, palms, and exotic plants from across the globe, once enjoyed by Kandyan royalty. Rolling hills covered in tea plantations stretch toward the horizon, their emerald slopes dotted with pickers whose labor continues a legacy that has shaped Sri Lanka's identity. What makes Kandy unforgettable is its atmosphere. Spiritual yet lively, traditional yet welcoming. It is a place where ancient rituals coexist with everyday life, where the sound of tea, mintal drums blends with the call of birds from the surrounding forests. Kandy is not just a city to visit, it is a city to feel, an enduring symbol of Sri Lanka's soul, where history, devotion, and nature come together in timeless beauty. Nuwara Eliya, nestled high in Sri Lanka's central highlands, is a town of misty hills, emerald tea plantations, and cool mountain air. Often called Little England for its colonial charm, it carries an atmosphere unlike anywhere else on the island. With red brick houses, rose gardens, and manicured lawns framed by rolling hills, Nuwara Eliya feels both timeless and enchanting. Founded in the 19th century by British planters, the town still reflects its colonial heritage. The Grand Hotel, old post office, and Tudor-style cottages recall an era when it served as a retreat from the tropical heat. Yet beyond its architecture, the spirit of the highlands defines the town. Crisp mornings, mist drifting over valleys, and the scent of tea leaves carried by the breeze. The surrounding landscape is a world of natural wonders. Endless tea estates cover the hills in green, where workers pluck tender leaves that fuel one of Sri Lanka's most famous exports, Ceylon tea. Visitors can tour factories, sip freshly brewed cups, and walk through fields that seem to stretch into the clouds. Gregory Lake, set in the center of town, invites boat rides, horse rides, and quiet strolls along its shores, while Galle Botanical Garden blooms with orchids, ferns, and exotic flowers. Beyond the town, the hills lead to breathtaking adventures. Trails wind through Horton Plains, where the famous World's End Cliff offers dramatic views, and waterfalls cascade into hidden valleys. The cool climate, unique for Sri Lanka, makes every journey refreshing. Nuwara Eliya is more than a hill station. It is a tapestry of history, nature, and culture. Whether sipping tea by a fireplace, wandering through gardens, or gazing over mist-covered plantations, visitors find a place where tranquility and beauty linger in every moment. Ramboda, gateway to the highlands. Ramboda, tucked between Kandy and Nuwara Eliya, is a serene mountain village that captures the quiet beauty of Sri Lanka's central highlands. Surrounded by misty hills, winding roads, and endless tea plantations, Ramboda is best known for its cascading waterfalls, cool climate, and the gentle charm of rural life. The highlight is the Ramboda Falls, a three-tiered cascade plunging gracefully through lush forests. One of the highest waterfalls in the country, its waters glisten in the sunlight before tumbling into rocky pools below. The constant roar of the falls blends with birdsong, creating a soundtrack of pure nature. Hidden trails around the area invite visitors to discover smaller streams and viewpoints that reveal sweeping vistas of the valley. Tea is central to Ramboda's identity. Slopes covered in emerald green plantations stretch in every direction, their neatly trimmed rows shaping the hills into living patterns. Visiting a tea factory here, he offers a glimpse into the art of Ceylon tea, watching the leaves wither, roll and transform before savoring a fresh aromatic cup overlooking the mountains. Life in Ramboda moves slowly, in rhythm with nature. Colorful flowers bloom in gardens, mist drifts lazily through the valleys, and simple roadside cafes serve hot tea and local delicacies to travelers passing by. The cool air, so different from the coastal heat, makes it a refreshing retreat. Ramboda may be small, but it embodies the essence of Sri Lanka's hill country, peaceful, green, and endlessly inviting. It is a place where the roar of waterfalls and the calm of tea fields remind every visitor of the quiet power of nature. Sigiriya, often hailed as the eighth wonder of the world, is one of Sri Lanka's greatest treasures and most iconic landmarks. Towering nearly 200 meters above the central plains, this massive column of rock is crowned by the ruins of an ancient royal citadel built in the 5th century by King Kashyapa. Known as Lion's Rock for the colossal lion gateway that once marked its entrance, Sigiriya remains a breathtaking blend of history, architecture, and natural majesty. The climb to the top is a journey through centuries of ingenuity. At the base, landscaped water gardens, moats, and symmetrical pathways reflect advanced engineering far ahead of their time. As you ascend, the rock reveals its secrets. The world-famous Sigiriya frescoes, painted directly onto sheer rock walls, depict graceful maidens adorned with jewelry and flowers, timeless works of art that glow with remarkable color even after 1,500 years. Nearby lies the mirror wall. Once polished so perfectly, it reflected visitors' faces, now etched with ancient poems and inscriptions, offering a glimpse into voices of the past. Halfway up, the path leads to the lion platform. Here, enormous stone paws stand as the remains of a gigantic lion figure that once welcomed those entering the fortress. Passing between them, visitors continue upward to the summit, where ruins of palaces, reservoirs, and terraced gardens stretch across the plateau. From the top, the view is unforgettable. Endless green plains, shimmering lakes, and distant mountains under an open sky. The setting sun bathes the land in gold, making it easy to imagine why Kashyapa chose this site as his royal seat. Sigiriya is not just a monument, it is a story of ambition, artistry, and resilience. It embodies the creativity of a civilization that dared to build in the clouds, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire awe. Today, it stands as both a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of Sri Lanka's cultural brilliance.
Hiriketiya Beach,
Tucked away on Sri Lanka's southern coast, is a small, horseshoe-shaped bay that has quickly become a favorite for travelers seeking beauty, surf, and serenity. With its golden sands curving gently between headlands and waves rolling in from the Indian Ocean, the beach feels both intimate and vibrant, a perfect blend of tropical charm and laid-back energy. The bay is a haven for surfers of all levels. Beginners practice on gentle waves close to shore, while experienced riders carve through stronger breaks further out. The rhythm of the surf sets the pace of life here, where days begin with boards on the water and end with sunsets glowing across the horizon. Lush coconut palms frame the beach, and narrow lanes lead to cafes, guest houses, and yoga shalas that capture the spirit of a bohemian escape. The atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming, with a community of locals and travelers sharing meals, music, and stories by lantern light. Beyond the surf, Hiriketiya offers moments of quiet beauty. a morning swim in calm waters, a walk along rocky edges where the jungle meets the sea, or simply lying under the shade of palms with the sound of waves as a lullaby. Every experience feels unhurried and genuine. Though small in size, Hirikatiya carries the essence of Sri Lanka's southern coast. Warm hospitality, vibrant nature, and the simple joy of life by the sea. For many, it becomes more than a stop on a journey. It is a place to stay, to slow down, and to feel connected to the ocean's timeless rhythm.
The Nine Arches Bridge,
Hidden among the emerald hills of Yala, is one of Sri Lanka's most photographed landmarks. Built during the British colonial era in the early 20th century, this stone viaduct stretches gracefully across a lush valley, supported by 9 towering arches that give it both strength and elegance. Surrounded by tea plantations, forests, and misty peaks, it is a masterpiece of engineering set in a landscape of pure beauty. Constructed entirely from stone, bricks, and cement without the use of steel, the bridge is often called the Bridge in the Sky. Its 91-meter length and 24-meter height carry the railway line connecting Yala to Demadara, a route famous for its breathtaking views. Watching a blue train curve slowly across the arches, framed by green hills and drifting clouds, is an unforgettable sight that captures the magic of Sri Lanka's highlands. The approach to the bridge is as charming as the landmark itself. Narrow paths wind through villages and tea fields, where locals greet visitors with warm smiles and cups of freshly brewed Ceylon tea. Early mornings bring mist that clings to the arches, while evenings glow with soft golden light, each moment offering a different perspective on its beauty. The Nine Arches Bridge is more than a railway crossing. It is a symbol of harmony between human ingenuity and nature. For travelers, standing here is not just about admiring a structure, but about feeling the spirit of a land where history, culture, and landscape come together in timeless wonder.
Colombo.
The vibrant gateway to Sri Lanka. Colombo, the bustling capital of Sri Lanka, is a city where tradition and modernity flow together like the waves of the Indian Ocean along its shores. Once a small trading post for Arab, Portuguese, Dutch, and British merchants, Colombo has grown into a vibrant metropolis that still carries the imprints of its colonial past. Today, it stands as both the commercial heart of the nation and a gateway to the island's rich culture and natural beauty. The city's skyline blends gleaming towers with historic landmarks. The Colombo Fort area recalls its colonial roots with grand old buildings and government offices, while nearby Galle Green stretches along the oceanfront, where families, vendors, and kite flyers gather to enjoy the sea breeze at sunset. The sound of the waves mixes with laughter and the aroma of street food, making it one of Colombo's most beloved spots. Colombo is also a city of sacred spaces. The Gangaramaya Temple, with its mix of Sri Lankan, Thai, and Chinese architectural styles, is a spiritual hub that reflects the country's Buddhist heritage. Meanwhile, the Jami-ul-Alfar Mosque, with its striking red and white candy-striped facade, stands as a symbol of the city's multicultural identity. Markets and bazaars pulse with energy, from Petta's lively stalls overflowing with spices, fabrics, and jewelry, to modern shopping centers that showcase Sri Lanka's growing contemporary spirit. The city's cuisine tells the story of its diversity. Aromatic rice and curry, fiery street snacks, and fresh seafood shaped by both local tradition and global influence. Yet, amid the bustle, Colombo offers moments of calm. Lakes and shaded parks invite reflection, while museums and galleries preserve the island's history and art. Colombo is more than a capital. It is a crossroads of cultures, a city alive with color, rhythm, and warmth. For travelers, it is not just a starting point to explore Sri Lanka, but a destination. Hat captures the essence of the island itself.
Berewala,
on Sri Lanka's southwestern coast, is a town where history and the ocean meet in harmony. Known as the island's first Muslim settlement, established by Arab traders in the 8th century, Berewala has grown into a destination that blends cultural heritage, spiritual landmarks, and the beauty of the sea. With golden beaches, bustling markets, and ancient mosques, it offers travelers a glimpse into both the past and the vibrant present of Sri Lanka's coastal life. The Berewala harbour is the beating heart of the town, alive with the movement of fishing boats returning at dawn with their colourful sails and the day's fresh catch. Close by, the Kechimalai Mosque, perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking the sea, stands as one of the oldest mosques in the country. Its whitewashed walls and serene setting reflect the deep-rooted Islamic heritage of the community, while its history connects Berewala to centuries of maritime trade. Berewala is also a place of natural beauty. The wide sandy stretch of Berewala Beach invites long walks and quiet sunsets, while nearby Bentota River and Lagoon offer boat rides through mangroves teeming with birdlife. Coral reefs and calm waters make the area popular for swimming, diving, and water sports, creating a balance of relaxation and adventure. Markets add another layer to Berewala's character. Spices, gems, and textiles recall its trading past, while fragrant street food stalls serve fresh seafood curries, hoppers, and sweets that reflect Sri Lanka's culinary richness. For visitors, Berewala is not only a seaside retreat, but a place of encounters with history, with culture, and with the warm hospitality of its people. It is a destination where every sunrise over the ocean carries the promise of stories as old as the island itself.
Yala National Park,
on Sri Lanka's southeastern coast, is a haven of wetlands, lagoons, and forests that comes alive with the sound of wings. Known especially for its rich bird life, the park shelters more than 250 species, making it one of Asia's most remarkable bird sanctuaries. Here, painted storks stand gracefully in shallow waters, pelicans glide in formation, and rare species like the black-necked stork and yellow-footed green pigeon find refuge. The Kumana Vilu, a 200-hectare natural swamp lake, is the heart of the park. Each year it becomes a nesting ground for thousands of migratory birds, arriving from as far as Siberia and the Himalayas. During this season, the park turns into a vibrant orchestra of calls and colors, a living spectacle of nature's rhythm. Yet Kumana is more than a paradise for birdwatchers. Elephants, crocodiles, deer, and even elusive leopards roam its grasslands and forests. Mangroves and scrub jungles thrive alongside sand dunes and lagoons, creating a mosaic of habitats that sustain incredible biodiversity. Unlike some of Sri Lanka's busier reserves, Kumana feels wild and untamed. Jeep safaris follow sandy tracks through landscapes where silence is broken only by the rustle of wings or the distant roar of the ocean. Sunsets over the lagoons paint the sky in hues of orange and gold, leaving visitors with a sense of awe. Kumana is not just a national park, it is a sanctuary where life flourishes in delicate balance, offering travelers the chance to witness the timeless beauty of Sri Lanka's natural world. Mirissa, on Sri Lanka's southern coast, is a seaside paradise where golden sands, turquoise waters, and gentle rhythms of coastal life create an atmosphere of pure escape. Shaped like a crescent, the beach curves gracefully between palm-fringed headlands, offering both beauty and tranquility in equal measure. By day, Mirissa is a place of calm. Waves roll softly onto the shore, perfect for swimming or beginner-friendly surfing. Traditional fishing boats rest on the sand, their bright colors reflecting the island's maritime heritage. Cafes and beachside bars serve fresh seafood and tropical fruit juices, while hammocks sway lazily in the breeze. But Mirissa is also a gateway to adventure. It is one of the best places in the world to spot whales and dolphins, with boat excursions taking travelers offshore to witness blue whales, the largest creatures on Earth, gliding majestically through the deep. At sunset, the iconic Parrot Rock offers a perfect viewpoint as the horizon burns with shades of gold and crimson. Nightfall brings a new energy. Beachfront restaurants light lanterns along the sand, music drifts into the air, and travelers gather for seafood feasts under the stars. The blend of serenity and liveliness makes Mirissa unique, neither too quiet nor too crowded, but perfectly balanced. Whether watching whales, surfing at dawn, or simply lying beneath coconut palms with the sea as your soundtrack, Mirissa is more than a beach. It is a feeling of freedom, wonder, and connection to the ocean's timeless rhythm.
Hikkaduwa,
on Sri Lanka's sun-drenched southwest coast, is a destination where golden beaches, vibrant reefs, and a lively spirit come together in harmony. Once a quiet fishing village, it has grown into one of the island's most popular seaside escapes, yet it still retains the charm of coastal life, with waves rolling in from the Indian Ocean and palms swaying overhead. Hikkaduwa is a place where relaxation meets adventure. The beach is the heart of it all. Long stretches of soft sand invite lazy days under the sun, while the clear waters beckon swimmers and surfers alike. The surf here is renowned, drawing both beginners and seasoned riders to its consistent breaks. Offshore, the Hikkaduwa Coral Sanctuary reveals a world of marine life. Colorful fish dart among corals, sea turtles glide gracefully, and snorkelers float above gardens of living color. Beyond the water, Hikkaduwa thrives with energy. Beachfront cafes and restaurants serve fresh seafood, tropical fruits, and fiery Sri Lanka Ankan curries, while shops and markets display handicrafts and batik textiles. As evening falls, lanterns light up the shoreline, music drifts from beach bars, and the town's nightlife awakens with a carefree rhythm. Yet Hikkaduwa is more than a beach resort. Inland, visitors can explore lakes, temples, and villages that reveal the cultural depth of the region. The warmth of its people, the mix of serenity and vibrancy, and the ever-present call of the sea make Hikkaduwa unforgettable. It is a place where days melt into sunsets, where every dive or surf ride feels like freedom, and where the ocean writes its timeless story upon the shore.